like behind my ears, and it would get really flaky and nasty. The doctor had prescribed me a steroid. I didn't like that answer. I felt like that was a lie, and they put it all over my back. I am allergic to dogs now, which it is like my favorite thing ever. Everyone's skin is different, but I did figure out what works for me. So hey loves, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Sia, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about my journey with eczema and how I healed it for myself. So let's just start from the beginning. I actually have never dealt with eczema in my life until the beginning of last year. January 2024, I had a random rash breakout on my eyes, and I was so confused about what the heck was going on. My skin started to get really red, really irritated. There was bumps, it was dry and scaly. It eventually spread to my neck and a few other places like behind my ears, and it would get really flaky and nasty. But I didn't know it was eczema at the time because like I said, I never had dealt with it before. So of course, I went to the dermatologist first to figure out what exactly I'm looking at. And they were just like, this looks like atopic dermatitis, which is essentially eczema that you get from an allergic reaction to something. Never in my life have I really been allergic to anything. I had a suspicion that I may be like sensitive to eggs because I get nauseous sometimes when I eat them, or maybe a lot of dust or something because, you know, seasonally I may feel like I have allergies or something, just very slight, but nothing crazy. So I was so confused. They asked me if I had eczema since I was a kid or anything like that, and I was like, no. The doctor had prescribed me a steroid, but I did not want to take a steroid because, funny enough, as I was searching around on TikTok, I was trying to figure out like where this eczema could be coming from, or like what this rash could be. And I saw someone on TikTok who was dealing with, I think it's TSM, and that is just like a really bad reaction or their skin's withdrawal from overuse of topical steroids. So I really didn't want to use it, and I asked them if there was something else that I could use other than steroids, and they basically said there is nothing else that would help me. I absolutely have to use steroids. I didn't like that answer. I felt like that was a lie, which eventually it turned out to be. So about a month later, I went to an allergist because of what the dermatologist said, that it could be an allergic reaction. I was like, well, let me figure out what the root cause of this is before I'm taking steroids. I think I took the cream that she gave me anyways, but I used it very sparingly. I did not want to end up dealing with TSM or anything like that. I was still dealing with the rash. It's a month later. When I went there, they did a quick test on like different types of foods that I could be allergic to. The only reaction I had was to eggs, which I suspected, but it was so small that they didn't even rule it an actual allergy. It was such a small bump on my arm. They were like, okay, we'll do this like full panel of different, I guess, external or chemical type substances, and they put it all over my back, and I had to have that on for I think 2 days. So I had to not shower like normal, unfortunately, but I had to leave it there, and if anything itched, I couldn't really scratch it or anything. I just had to keep that on for the 2 days and then return back to the allergist for them to let me know what I'm allergic to. I did end up being allergic to something, and I honestly don't even remember the name of it right now. But it's a chemical that's actually illegal in the state of California and in most states, really. So it's like, if I'm allergic to this, if that's what's causing my issue, what product is this in? Who can I sue? But the doctor was just like, she highly doubts that anything that I'm using has this ingredient in it because it's been banned for a while. It's really an unsafe thing. So we were kind of back to square one, didn't really know. So she did another test on me to test if I'm allergic to things like dust, different animals and stuff like that. And surprisingly to me, because if you guys know me, you know that I was a dog sitter for like 2 years or so. I am allergic to dogs now, which is so devastating. Like, I was in denial about it, I'm not gonna lie. For a while after this, I was in absolute denial. This whole process took a little bit, but anyways, I'm allergic to dogs and rabbits, and I'm so sad about that because I would have eventually wanted a bunny, but okay. And I definitely want a puppy as well, but my options are now super limited. I was so in denial, but I did have my friend's dog at the time, so it made sense sense why my reactions were like flaring up so bad. And like I said, we had been sitting dogs for like 2 years or so. Dog hair gets everywhere, so I had to go home and do such a deep clean. And when we vacuumed, did the deep clean, my flare-ups got even worse, and that should have solidified it in my mind for me, but it really didn't, because I didn't want that to be the case, you know? So I'm allergic to dogs. Fine. I went away on vacation and was away from all of that for a little bit, but I was still having this reaction. So I was like, that can't be the only thing, unless it's just, you know, lasting this long. I had a ointment from the Allergist. So the Allergist gave me Eucrisa, or subscribed me Eucrisa. They gave me little small ones, but then was able to order this for me for like $10 from like private pharmacy maybe, I don't know, but a pharmacy that delivers, because this can cost a lot if you don't have the right insurance or get it from the right place. So that was helping a lot. It's not a steroid, thankfully, so I was a little bit more comfortable using it, although regardless I didn't really want to use, you know, different ointments or topical treatments, but I used that and it was working. But then I found that the reactions were still coming back after some time, and so I started to do like an elimination of my products, like my makeup and stuff. I started to realize when I put my makeup on, I get this reaction afterwards, so it has to be one of these products as well. I did a thing where I threw out like all of my brushes and started over. I eliminated the new makeup products that I bought for the year and started over, and like did one by one eliminations to see when my skin would not break out. And I found, unfortunately, that I am also allergic to Rare Beauty's blush stick. So that was the only product that when I stopped using that, I didn't have any breakouts, and when I would use it again, I would have breakouts. So unfortunately, I couldn't use that anymore. And it's so bizarre to me, being someone who has not had any allergies for real in 30 plus years, to suddenly be allergic to something. Like, I don't know what the 30s are doing, but yeah. So I had some solutions, thankfully. One, going to the allergist was really helpful to figure out that I'm allergic to dogs, can't have them around. And two, doing a process of elimination with my new products. I did my old products too, but definitely my new products, to see what was not working with my skin. That whole process actually took till June, is when I had the final results there and really figured out what was bothering me. So that was 6 months of dealing with really bad puffy eyes, scaly eyes, crusting eyelids, crusting behind my ears and everywhere else, to get my skin back in order. I found that I needed to change my face wash, because that was also drying. Eczema also like pops up when your skin is dry as well, if you are prone to it anyways, and you have to try to keep your skin moisturized. So what helped me the most was Aquaphor, of course. Like, that is the holy grail for anything. If your skin is dry, if you need healing, whatever, spiritual healing, mental healing, all the healing, physical healing, use Aquaphor. It is like my favorite thing ever. And then I switched my face wash. So I was using the CeraVe foaming face wash, and that was a little bit more drying. It's always been good to me, but that was becoming too drying for me. So I switched it to this CeraVe hydrating cream to foam cleanser for normal to dry skin. So that was a game changer, because after I wash my face, it doesn't feel ridiculously dry. So now, like I said, I was in denial for a while that I'm allergic to dogs, and actually the last time I had a breakout was probably in September, when I touched my neighbor's dog and it came back and flared up. But that is the last time. I knew exactly what to do to get rid of that flare up. Just be away from the dog for a while, of course, which I wasn't going to be near the dog anyways. I have this to kind of fast track the healing, plus the CeraVe. I've been using this for months now. I mean, plus the Aquaphor, extra hydration, plus I've been using the CeraVe for months now, and that was all clear, and I have not had a breakout since, you guys. I have not experienced eczema since. So of course, I am no doctor, I am no pro, I am no expert at this. Everyone's skin is different, but I did figure out what works for me. So if you are dealing with eczema, I definitely suggest seeing a dermatologist, but don't always just take whatever they say as like bond, like their word means everything. No, if you don't feel comfortable, like I wasn't comfortable with taking steroids, then go to a allergist. Maybe you're allergic to something that is causing these breakouts. Maybe your diet needs to change. I did not change changed my diet on this, but I know a lot of people do change their diets because sugar can make eczema worse or activate eczema. So that can be a possibility for you. Or you find out what you're allergic to and you just get rid of that. Or you try to change up your products a little bit. I tried a whole bunch of eczema products, like different lotions and things, and that just didn't work for me. My regular lotion was just fine. The Aquaphor, like I said, and just switching my face wash from a little bit more drying one to a more moisturizing, hydrating one, that worked for me. Maybe it's a little bit more simple, you know, than you thought, but definitely try to do your own research, talk to your doctors. I talked to my primary care doctor as well because I trust her the most out of all of the doctors that I go to. Like, I will be like, I will literally go to my primary care doctor and be like, tell me who you trust. I have this issue. If you cannot help me with this issue, who do you trust? So I can go to, because I trust her that much. And I'm obviously so lucky to be able to have a doctor that I trust in, because I know there's a little disconnect there between doctor and patient sometimes. Definitely keep fighting for your skin, your body. There is probably a solution out there for you. All in all, just make sure you do your research, give yourself some time to heal, try different things. I know that a lot of people dealt with this forever, and it's something that's just like, it's never going away. It's just at certain times of the year they might have an eczema breakout or whatever, and that's just what they got to deal with. I know it's not as easy as it was for me, but just in case it may be, definitely give it a try or check in with your doctors to see if that's something that you can do. Definitely suggest going to see a allergist, because that may be extremely helpful on your journey. If you have any more questions about my journey with eczema and how I've managed to get rid of it and haven't had a breakout in almost 6 months, and how I've managed to not have any outbreaks anymore, definitely let me know down below whatever questions you have, and I'll be happy to share. And if I missed anything, or if you want to know any products, I'll list all the products that I use and changed in the description box down below. See you guys later.